Alright guys, let's review for our Unit 2 test. Our Unit 2 test is over simplifying expressions, solving equations, and solving inequalities. Alright, so number one, we are looking to simplify this expression. This is called an expression because there is no equal sign, right? So this is just an expression. So we simplify in the order of PEMDAS. Okay, so I'm looking to simplify inside the parentheses. That's what the P stands for. So parentheses first. Now within the parentheses, I'm also doing PEMDAS. So within the parentheses, I see this exponent. So this 4 squared is going to give me 16 minus 20 plus 2. So all I did was square the 4 and I got 16. Alright, so now I've got negative 3. 16 minus 20 is negative 4. And then plus 2. So I've simplified in my parentheses. Next thing I do is the exponents. There are no more exponents. Then I look to multiply. These two are written side by side, so they're multiplied together. That gives me a positive 12. And then I'm going to add those two together and I get 14. Negative times a negative is a positive. Number two, same thing, PEMDAS. So the first thing I'm going to do is this exponent right here. 4 squared is going to give me 16. And then that's times 2. And then times 3. Those are all multiplied together, so 16 times 2 times 3. I could say 16 times 6, okay, or I could say 16 times 2, which is 32, and then 32 times 3. It all gives me the same answer, right? It's going to give me 96. Looking at number 3. Number 3, again, I'm trying to simplify. So I'm going to take this and simplify in the parentheses. These are not like terms, so you cannot simplify there, but you can simplify 5 minus 7. Those are both numbers. So we get plus negative 2 squared, right? 5 minus 7 is a negative 2. That's still squared there. We've got 4, negative 3x minus 4. So you're looking at that right there. Next thing I'm going to do is the exponents. So negative 2 times negative 2, that's negative 2 times itself. That gives me a positive 4 here. I'm going to distribute here because, again, those are not like terms. You cannot simplify. So distribute. 4 times a negative 3 is a negative 12x. 4 times 4 is a negative 16. So now I'm here. I'm going to combine like terms. My like terms are my numbers. So negative 12x minus 12. Bada bing, bada boom. Number 4, last one on this group. So I look to simplify in the parentheses. Those are not like terms. Same thing here. Those are not like terms. So we need to distribute. Again, distribute means to multiply. So negative 2 times x is a negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is a plus 10. And then plus. Distribute here also. So 4 times negative x is a negative 4x. And positive 20. Now we're looking to combine like terms. My like terms, same variable, same power. Okay, same variable, same power. So let me write it right here. Like terms, same variable, raised to the same power. Okay, those are my like terms. So like terms are the x raised to the first power, x raised to the first power, bada bing, bada boom. Negative 2 and negative 4, that gives me a negative 6. My numbers are also like terms, so 20 plus 10 is 30. Again, how do you know you're done? You know you're done when you have simplified as much as I can. I cannot simplify anymore because those are not like terms. Going on to number 5, now we are going to solve an equation. There's a big difference between an equation, which has an equal sign, and an expression. An expression you can't solve. An equation you can. You can solve for the given variable. So I can simplify in the parentheses here. You got 7 plus 2. That's going to give me 9. So now we have this equation right there. Negative 2 times 9 is a negative 18. So 3x equals negative 18. The last step is to divide by the coefficient, which the coefficient is 3. So again, I'm dividing by 3. I'm not dividing by 3x. The 3's cancel out. I'm left with x, 1x, equals negative 6, because a negative 18 divided by 3 is a negative 6. Now, again, I'm not sure. I can always plug it back in and make sure that it makes the equation true. Looking at number 6. Okay, again, an equation. Now, we're going to go in the order of operations here. So 2 squared is going to give me a positive 4. And then 4 times 3 is going to give me 12. Over here, I'm going to distribute. Negative 4 times x is a negative 4x. Negative 4 times 5 is a negative 20. Now I've got the variables here. Okay, I want to get rid of everything else that's with the variable. Right, so I need to move my number to be able to combine it with the 12. So I need to move it, which means I need to do the inverse of a minus 20. The opposite of minus 20 is to add 20. 32, so negative 4x equals 32. All right, the last step again is to divide by the coefficient, so dividing by a negative 4, not a negative 4x, just the number, negative 4, so x equals negative 8. All right, looking at number 7, you've got x divided by 3, and you've got 6 minus 4, so those are like terms. You can simplify here, 6 minus 4 is positive 2, so you've got x divided by 3 equals positive 2. Again, how do I get rid of a divided by 3? Well, I'm going to multiply. The opposite of dividing is to multiply. So we multiply on both sides. We're left with x equals 2 times 3, 6. Bam. Number 8, we've got 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16, equals y plus 12. So 9 minus 16 is a negative 7, equals y plus 12. Last step, we want to get the y by itself. We want to isolate for the variable, so we need to get rid of this plus 12. The opposite of that is to subtract 12 on both sides. We get y equals negative 19. Let me write that a little bit better. All right, so we got some inequalities. Yay, inequalities. All right, so again, we're still solving for our variable. So we've got y minus 3 is greater than 4 times 2, which is 8. Last step, get the variable by itself, so move this minus 3. The opposite of that is to add 3 to both sides, and you get y is greater than 11. All right, so let's say 11 is right there. I know that I'm going to the right. All my solutions are to the right of that. It's greater than, it's not equal to. You do not see a line underneath, so it's an open circle, and my solutions are all the numbers greater than 11. Looking at number 10, I need to divide by the coefficient. So I'm dividing by 3. You get x is greater than or equal to negative 5. So let's say negative 5 is right there. Now I'm shading again to the right. My arrow's going to the right. Now this is a closed circle because there is an equals to bar underneath. So it is greater than or equal to. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, let's go to the next page. More inequalities. Number 11. I want to get rid of the divided by negative 3. So the opposite of divided by negative 3 is to multiply by negative 3 on both sides. You get y over here. Now you multiply by a negative, so your inequality sign needs to flip. Right? So it's going to become a greater than or equal to. 6 times negative 3 is going to give me a negative 18. So that's your answer. Now again, if you want to write it with the variable in front, that's fine. Let's flip everything around. So the y comes in front. We got to flip that sign, make it point towards the y, because right here it's pointed towards the y, so it's going to become that. And your answer looks like that. So here's negative 18, negative 19, negative 20, negative 21, etc. We know we have a circle at negative 18. We know the circle is closed in because there's an equals to bar underneath. And we know that my solutions are to the left now. Last one, we want to get the x by itself, so I need to get rid of this minus 7. The opposite of minus 7 is to add 7 on both sides. You get x is greater than, 7 minus 7 is 0. So x is greater than 0. It's a greater than symbol, it's not equal to. So it's an open circle. And I want all the numbers that are greater than 0. So I'm going to the right. All right, number 13, word problems. Jeremy stopped at a convenience store for a snack. He's buying a Monster Energy drink. Hey, let's go. Monster Energy drink for $2.57 and wants to buy some hot dogs for 60 cents each. He must spend less than $5 in total. How many hot dogs can he buy? All right, so I'm buying one Monster Energy drink for $2.57 and some hot dogs. So I'm not sure how many hot dogs I'm buying. Right, so that's got to have the variable with it. So each hot dog is going to cost 0.6 times the number of hot dogs. Right, so let's say x equals number of hot dogs I bought. Right, so it's not an eating contest. So I'm not going to try to go all out. All right, but x is the number of hot dogs. Each one is 60 cents. So if I bought one, it'd be 60 cents. If I bought two, it'd be 2 times 60 cents. etc., etc. I also bought an energy drink for $2.57. All right, so this is plus 2.57. Now, I only have $5 in my wallet. So what I'm buying cannot exceed $5. So $5 has to be greater than or equal to what I'm buying. This is what I'm buying, energy drink and the number of hot dogs. That's less than $5. All right, so now we're there. Okay, well that turns into what we just did up here, right? We're just solving an inequality. The first thing I need to do, I need to isolate for the variable. So I need to get rid of that number. The opposite of a plus 257 is to subtract 257. So 5 minus 257 is going to give me 243. And that's greater than or equal to 0.60x. Now, the last step, we're going to divide by the coefficient. So we're dividing by 0.6 on both sides. Okay, and so my answer is x equals 4, sorry, not equals. Yeesh, not equals. All right, so x less than or equal to 4.05. All right, so now how many hot dogs can I buy? Well, I can only buy 4 hot dogs. Right, I can only buy 4 hot dogs. So there's 4. X has to be less than 4. Okay, so I want, the numbers that are over here. Less than or equal to, bam, we're going to go to 0. Now, let's think about this, okay, because my graph, my inequality graph, is going to stop at 0. Why is it going to stop at 0? You can't buy a -1 hot dog. Okay, so I can buy up to 4 hot dogs. I could buy 0 hot dogs, I could buy 1, I could buy 2, I could buy 3, I could buy 4, I could buy up to 4 hot dogs. Okay, but I can't buy more than 4 because I'd spend more than the amount of money I have in my wallet, and I can't buy less than 0 because you can't buy a -1 hot dog. All right, number 14, Rebecca's having a garage sale and needs to make at least $200 in sales. She already sold 2 tables for $25 each, so let's say X is equal to the number of tables, and a large couch for $65 each. Okay, if she sells smaller items for $5 each, how many small items can she sell before the sale ends? Alright, so let's go back over our variables. My fault. X is not going to equal the number of tables. Good step. Come on, dude. Alright, so she has already sold 2 tables for $25 each. Okay, so she sold each one for $25. She sold 1 table for $25. She sold the second for $25 also. So the 2 tables are going to equal $50 sold. And a large couch for $65, so plus $65. And she's selling small items for $5 each. So we don't know how many small items she's selling, so that needs the variable. So let's say X equals small items. Now, she needs to make at least $200 in sales. This is her sales, right? Sales of the table, sales of the couch, and sales of the small items. She needs to make at least $200. So this needs to be equal to or greater than $200. All right, so now I'm just solving an inequality. I can combine like terms. $200 is less than or equal to 50 plus 65. That's going to give me 115 plus 5x. All right, so I'm going to take the 115 and I'm going to get rid of it, or the opposite of 115, which is to subtract 115. So we get 85 less than or equal to 5x. And then the last step, we're going to divide by the coefficient, so dividing by the number in front, and we get x has to be greater than or equal to 17. And again, if we want to write it with the variable in front, we're going to flip everything around. So x, it's going to open towards the x, so it's greater than or equal to 17. So let's say this is 17, 18, 19, 20. Greater than or equal to means it's a closed circle, and we're going to the right. All right, we're solving multi-step equations on number 15. Yahoo! First step, I'm going to distribute. Okay, distribute this -2, so -2 times x is a -2x. 6 times -2 is a -12, equals, that's going to give me 33, plus 5 squared is 25. So now we're here. Okay, now I'm going to combine like terms. 33 and 25, those are like terms. When we add those together, we get 58 is equal to negative 2x minus 12. Now I'm solving for my variable. So I need to get rid of the minus 12. The opposite of a minus is to add 12 to both sides. That gives me 70, so negative 2x equals 70. Last step, divide by the coefficient. So I'm dividing by a negative 2. So x equals negative 35. All right, moving right along. Number 16. Okay, this is x minus 3 divided by 4 equals 8. I need to get rid of the divided by 4 first. Opposite of that is to multiply by 4 on both sides. That cancels out. You got x minus 3 equals 32. Last step, we're going to get rid of the minus 3. Opposite is to add 3 to both sides, so x equals 35. Looking at number 17. Number 17, we're going to take this 4 and square it. 4 times 4 is 16, so 16 minus 3 equals 3y plus 1. Now I can combine like terms because those are both numbers, right? So what is 16 minus 3? That's 13 equals 3y plus 1. We need to move this plus 1, so opposite is to subtract 1. We get 12 equals 3y. Last step, divide by the coefficient. Y equals 12. Number 18, we need to distribute here. So negative 3 times negative x is a positive 3x. Negative 3 times positive 12 is a negative 36. Now, looking over here, that is a fraction. What is 60 divided by 10? 60 divided by 10 is 6. Right? So this is a negative 6. Now let's solve for our variable, right? So we're isolating for the 3x. We need to get rid of this minus 36. Opposite is to add 36. You get 3x equals 30. Last step, divide by the coefficient. You get x equals 10. Number 19, oh my goodness, look at this. We got 8 minus 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. In parentheses, we got 73 minus 69 equals x minus 4. Now, look at what's inside the parentheses. We can simplify here. Those are both numbers. So we got 8 minus 25 times positive 4 equals x minus 4. Because 73 minus 69 is positive 4. All right, now we can do this multiplication right here. So we've got 8 minus 100 equals x minus 4. 8 minus 100 is equal to negative 92 equals x minus 4. In the last step, we're going to add 4 to both sides, so we get x equals negative 88. All right, looking at the number 20, the word problem. Okay, so it says Sibing and 3 of her friends went out for lunch. They each ordered meals that cost exactly the same amount, and each tipped the server $3. The total amount paid was $48. How much did each meal cost? Right, so Sibing and 3 of her friends went out for lunch. So how many people total went out for lunch? That would be 4 people. They each ordered meals that cost exactly the same amount, and each tipped the server $3. Okay, so we need to know how much the meal costs. So let's say x is equal to the cost of the meal. Each of them ordered a meal, right? So 4 people ordered a meal at X amount of dollars. We don't know what the X amount of dollars is because we don't know how much each meal cost. But they each tipped the server $3. Okay, how many people were there? 4 people were there, and they each tipped $3. So 4 times 3 is 12. So plus 12. Total amount paid was how much? 48. So let's talk about this. 4 people are paying the X cost of the meal, plus we got this $12 in tip equals a $48 total bill. All right, so now we need to move this minus 12 because we're solving for the 4x. So that goes away. You get 4x equals 36. Last step, divide by 4. So x equals 9. So each meal cost $9. Again, if you're not sure if that's correct, we can always plug it back in. 4 times 9 is 36 plus 12 equals 48. Bam. Moving right along. We're solving more equations. We got a variable on both sides here. Okay, I need to get my variables together. I need to get my numbers on the other side. So it's me. I'm going to add this 4x to make it positive. Add 4x over here. 4x, 2x is 6x minus 12 equals 6. Now I need to get the x by itself, so let's get rid of the minus 12. Opposite is to add 12 on both sides, so we get 18 equals 6x. Last step, divide by the coefficient, x equals 3. Look at number 22, we need to distribute because these are not like terms. So 3 times 2 is 6x plus 3 times 6 is 18 equals 13x minus 3. Now we need to get our variables on the same side. I'm going to move the 6x over here. The way I move a positive 6x is to subtract it. That goes away. You get 18 equals 13 minus 6 is 7x minus 3. Now we need to get the numbers on the other side. So get rid of the minus 3, which is to add 3 on both sides. 21 equals 7x. Last step, divide by the coefficient. So x equals 3 again. Let's go. Number 23. Okay, let's combine like terms. Look at this. I got a 3y, I've got a negative 2y, and a 16y. And those are all on the same side of the equal sign. So we can combine those puppies. You've got 16 and a positive 3, and then we're going to subtract 2. Right? Okay, or we could say, what's 3y minus 2y? So 3 minus 2 is a positive 1, and then plus 16. That's 17y. We still got this plus 6. We didn't touch it. And that's equal to 2 times 10, which is 20y. Now we need to get the variables together. This is a variable and a number. This is a variable. So we need to move that over here. So we have number over here, variable over here. So we're going to subtract 17y because right now it's a positive 17y. That goes away. You get 6 equals 3y. Last step, divide by the coefficient. You get y equals 2. Number 24, we're solving inequalities with a variable on both sides. Same thing though, we're going to distribute. So 7z minus 9 is greater than 3 times z is 3z plus 3 times 5 is 15. Now get your variables together. I'm going to subtract 3z. So that's 4z minus 9 is greater than 15. Now we're going to get rid of the minus 9, which is to add 9 on both sides. That goes away. You get 4z is greater than 25. Last step, divide by the coefficient. So we're dividing by 4. We get z is greater than 6. Number 25, again, solving for a given variable on both sides. We need to get rid of this 2y. That goes away. You get 6 is less than or equal to 5y plus 16. We're going to subtract 16 on both sides so we can get the variable by itself. That goes away. You get negative 10 is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, 5y. Divide by the coefficient. So you get y greater than or equal to negative 2. Now again, if you want to write it with the variable in front, so it looks like this, that's fine. The y comes first. It's opening towards the y, so I need to flip my inequality sign around and make it open towards the y. That's the same answer. Easy breezy, lemon squeezy.